Hello, my friend, and welcome back. It's good to see you here today. We are back once again with Choice of the Cat, and I say we because I have my son here again to help me with making decisions. Say hello, bud.
Hi.
Okay, we've made some improvements to our arrangement here, so hopefully you can hear him a little better than last couple times, but let's get started. Helmet, says Claire. The guy's name is Helmet, Mom. He's been our neighbor for over 5 years now, and he's a cat basher. She shakes her head and suddenly notices you staring. Whoa, where did you come from? She does a little jump. The face on screen goes sour and makes more words. No, Mom, it's our new cat, she explains, looking sideways at you. One of us must have left the child gate open again. It shouldn't happen, but it does. Claire turns away again, uninspired by your talents in exploring. I was saying, you've missed the point, Mom. In fact, we just got a fairly awful cat ourselves, with no respect for boundaries. You still don't kick the bloody things. Claire's mom must have asked more about you, because you hear Claire say, rescue cat, followed quickly by the worrying combinations of words trial and basis. No, Mom, I didn't bother going to a breeder, as you put it, Claire says. That's the whole point we want to make. There's more sighing until Claire says, Mom, look, I really have to go. I've got a teleconference in a few minutes about the party leadership, and I need to get my head together. Claire reaches a finger toward the keyboard, but stops short and flops her head forward. No, I'm the leading candidate. Me. Thanks so much for your vote of confidence. Claire stabs at a key, and the withered face vanishes. Her head is still bowed, and she takes a few deep breaths before looking back up at the screen. She begins to set up the teleconference. Leave the room. Politics schmolitics. Pawed her leg to demand some attention. Sit at her feet and observe quietly. Prance across the keyboard. Those buttons do stuff on the screen. What fun! Attempt to comfort her with head nuzzles. Which would you do?
Well, since this is totally Odin that we're kind of following, probably prance across the keyboard.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm surprised he's not on the keyboard right now as we speak. You are a serious pain, you know that, Odin? I think I've said that to the real Odin more than once. Claire grabs you firmly and stands, her headphones tearing from her head as she does it. She lets out a pained sort of cry before shunting you out into the hall. Where to now? We're going to really struggle with the choices here once again, but I think if it's okay with
Just
you...
find a place to sleep.
Yeah, we'll
That's
find...
literally the only one.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
You slink along the walls and press yourself against a still closed door. You're clearly going to need to train these people. Doors, they appear not to realize, should be left open at all times. A closed door is a closed opportunity, and you're pretty sure your sleeping options should include some actual beds. You let out the yowl that means, shut the door alert, hop to it, as Claire emerges, finally, from her study. When she reaches for the doorknob, you hope she's actually understood your call. Of course, when a door is opened, a cat is not obliged to walk through it. You sit and wait a while after Claire completes her task. She waits as well, staring at you like you owe her a reaction. Fine then, she shuts the door again, which really is quite stupid, because then you have to do your special yell again. Long day, eh, love? Andre appears, distracting Claire from getting her training exercise correct. He slides an arm around her and kisses her cheek. She hugs him, groaning theatrically, before sagging in his arms like a rag doll. Her voice creaks with fatigue. Hell yes, though dealing with Odin wasn't quite as awful as talking to my mom, she says, holding up index finger and thumb about a centimeter apart. I suspect he's toying with us, you know. Andre nods and strokes her hair. Very cat, he says knowingly. I've got a story that might cheer you up. He gives a sarcastic-looking smile. I mean, the student is getting an F for ignoring the assignment, but if I think about it, it is kind of funny. Claire leans back and tries to read Andre's face. She's half smiling already. I can't wait. What is it? Her expression already has much more life in it. Apparently, we spent half a term reading King Lear, which is a story about some pervy old guy who flashes people in parks. Andre shakes his head as he finishes. No way! They actually wrote that? Claire's laughing with what seems like incredulity. They must just seriously not care about passing the class. The fact that she finds this funny stumps Andre a little. But the thing about laughter and tiredness is that the latter makes the former more contagious. He starts to laugh as well. For cats, such jokes don't make a lot of sense. Claire's eyes are streaming, and all you get is the fact that they're making each other worse. They elaborate on the story, matching up more names with book titles and laughing until they can't breathe properly. You wonder when they might decide to stop. They really need to open some more doors. Eventually, the joke peters out, leaving both of them tired but much happier. I hope we didn't wake up Moon, says Andre. I'll check in on her. Good thing Helmet didn't keep that music going too long, he adds. She's probably long asleep already. Claire tries for some sort of grumble, but it dissolves in her throat as she's still mellowed from the laughter. Just so long as you know that doesn't make it okay for you to assault the neighborhood with Lincoln Park whenever you feel like it, she points out, without much of her usual conviction. Let's not have a repeat of it, okay? Andre kisses her silently on the forehead before she turns toward their bedroom. The door to Moon's room is duly opened. Bedroom option number 1, you think, though you don't go through that door either. You turn back to Claire to wait until she's made all door options properly available. The click of a handle and bedroom option number 2 is revealed, completing the task of door opening to your satisfaction. You slink into the doorway, not committing yet to entry, and peer in through the darkness. The bed in this room is quite big. Andre and Claire now step over you, entering the room to fuss around. They have various rituals in the bedroom and bathroom, it seems, that require other objects to be carted back and forth. You back into the hallway to avoid the risky foot traffic, watching cream being smeared onto faces only to be wiped back off, liquids swallowed only to be spit back out into sinks. It all seems like a huge amount of trouble for the sake of just grabbing a nap. At some point, finally, all family members are in beds. The dark has gone quiet and safe, which means it's time to find a napping place of your own. Do you sneak into Claire's and Andre's room to properly assess the options? Check out Moon's room, ditch the bed idea, and head for the comfortable security of the downstairs closet, or decide against untested beds and opt for the warmth of the laundry room? Which would you do?
That one.
Check out Moon's room? Okay.
Yep.
You slip quietly through the gap in Moon's door. The sloping roof above you descends to a small bay window with a seat bedecked in cushions. Her curtains are open, and outside the night shivers with stars. Nearby in a corner is a scrum of cuddly toys. Their mute eyes stare out into the distance, and you wonder if they might have been alive once, before Moon got her hands on them. You prowl the narrow length of her bedroom, underneath murals of rainbows and cartoon things that fly. Kids believe in such utterly ridiculous stuff. I'm out of here. Cleverly combines sleep and hiding by napping amid the corpses of her playthings. Sleep on the window seat amid the cushions under the glorious night sky, or sleep at Moon's feet. My affection might help win her over. What do you think, bud?
The first one.
The first one. Okay. You make a mental note of what this room contains. For reference, colorful distractions from the fact that kids are deadly. You turn tail and leave with a shiver. Alright, it looks like similar to before, we're going to get some of the same options. Do we sneak into Claire's and Andre's room to properly assess the options, ditch the bed idea and head for the comfortable security of the downstairs closet, or decide against untested beds and opt for the warmth of the laundry room?
Ditch the bed idea.
Ditch the bed idea. Alright. Heading to the downstairs closet. You're looking forward to the close-fitting feel of the downstairs closet. It has that optimum smallness that always feels safe so long as there's an exit. It's what goes for boxes, too. When you know you can get out of them, they're great. When someone shuts you in one, then it's panic time. The whole world just feels like it's evaporated, like everyone outside might be alive or dead or even smeared on the walls in some incomprehensible goo. Your reflections on small spaces are halted by the kitty gate. You remember you're going to have to vault it to get this perfect sized haven. Peering around the door and looking down, you clock the fact that botching this might kill you. You flex a few times and gather up your focus. You feel scattered and uneasy, and you know, if you're honest, this could go either way. So, I'm too keen on achieving other things here to risk it. I totally love adrenaline charged situations. I could always test the 9 lives theory. So which option are we going with today?
I can always test the 9 lives theory.
Okay, we're testing that 9 lives thing. You take a running leap and jump high above the top of the gate, which is not actually a bonus when the other side descends so steeply downward. You turn in the air and manage to catch the gate's top edge as your body pulls you downward. Claws tear and paint scrapes as you lose your feeble hold, but at least it slowed you down. You land gracelessly, and not on 4 paws. If there'd been anyone around to see that, you'd have lost all your 9 lives at once and been snatched out of existence for violating the common myth. Your little heart thuds in your mouth, and your catty eyes blink back in their fear. Your crumpled legs unwind so you can zip down the stairs to bury all evidence of your folly under piles of boots and coats. Andre, it's okay, he's in here. Those are the first words you hear when you wake up, entangled in a formerly unwrinkled coat. Claire leans in to shoo you out so she can hang the thing back up. You curl into an even tighter ball and shut my eyes. I'm not done sleeping. I'm buzzing to see her, so I get up and wind around her legs, purring. Hiss at her. She needs to get out of my space. Which option are we looking at?
The first one.
First one, curl into an even tighter ball. We're not done sleeping. You hear Claire chuckle and rummage through the pockets of her robe. You open your eyes just a touch, enough to see her form interrupting the light that pours in now through the door. You manage not to let on that she's already stopping you from sleeping. Click, click, click. Andre, she shouts a second time. You have to come and see this. Someone's broken in and replaced Odin with a cat that's actually endearing. Her voice is hoarse, and the yell trails out into a cough. When no answer is forthcoming from upstairs, she tries to shout again, but her voice is not complying. Her face disappears from the doorway, her feet thudding slowly up the stairs. She's taking her photos to Andre. By rights, mornings with humans should be quiet. In fact, you've heard that they're usually uncommunicative creatures until they get a dose of caffeine in them. You've also heard that this means they should be avoided until they've done exactly that. You stand up slowly and extricate yourself from the warmth of fake fur, arching your back like a gymnast. Your jaws open wide to let through yawns. Thanks to Claire, you're too awake to sleep, and it's time to greet the morning. You have a feeling day 2 will be an interesting day. Okay, today's video is definitely going to be a bit shorter than the previous 2. We do actually have the start of chapter 2, and honestly, once again, I'm really impressed with how long this demo actually is. It's almost looking like we can play through a good chunk of the story, but without knowing, we're going to stop here at the end of chapter 1. We will explore chapter 2 ahead and at least try to cover as much of this demo as it's letting us have. Now, just before we leave, we want to take a look here at the stats. It's kind of giving us an idea of what our choices are doing with, or how it's affecting our relationships and everything. So, Moon is a bit unnerved by us. We have not met Bean yet. I'm going to guess we're probably going to find out who these characters are because there's also Maddox. It's looking like at least we're leaning a little bit more on being liked by Claire and Andre. Let's see. We're pretty cautious in our decisions, apparently. We're definitely more feral. We're kind of somewhere in the middle of fun-loving and comfort-seeking. What did you want to add, bud?
Okay. So, it also seems like for logical and
intuitive? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's like 50-50. I see that.
So we're basically none for that.
Yeah, we could.
We're self-interested.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that from a lot of the choices that we're being made.
Yeah.
That sounds like the Odin that we know. So
Yeah.
not a surprise. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by today. It was great to see you, and hopefully we'll see you for the next part.